I think there are plenty of examples of people who have been in your position and they haven't been able to make it out, or they haven't done something
Right.
positive as a result of going through that. So, how did that happen for you?
I think that I just needed to rediscover who I was because when you're in a situation, particularly with a narcissist, but I think a lot of abuse victims go through this, um, you lose you lose yourself. You lose yourself in that relationship. But narcissists in particular dictate everything. They dictate who your friends can be, but usually you can't have friends because you can't have influence. You usually don't see your family or have contact with them because again, they can't they can't even risk that anybody influencing you other than them because other people will tell you to get out of that situation. You are told, I mean, my ex would tell me he didn't like this particular lipstick that I wore because he said I looked like a he didn't like me listening to that music. He didn't like me reading books. I didn't even have a smartphone until he moved out of the house at the end of the relationship because God forbid I go on the internet and find information that might sway me to leave or might give me some sense of empowerment. Everything, what we ate, where we went, everything was dictated. So when you have lived like that, like when he did move out, I remember feeling lost. I mean, I was relieved, but I was lost because I'm like, I don't know what to do with myself because my whole life had been serving him and making sure, constantly serving the situation and gauging the energy to determine what I'm supposed to do next. What does he expect of me? What does he want from me? What's going to make him happy? What's going to keep the peace? And without him there, well, my world revolved around him. So what was there to do? So I had to reach down real deep and kind of dig to say, where's Dana? Where is she? Where did she go? What is she even like? You know? And so I tell people all the time, start with the simple things. Even if you're still in that relationship, don't let this person diminish you so much that you lose who you are. And who you are is in the little things. I'm sure you have a favorite color. Mine is red, so I painted my nails red because I like it, and it made me happy to look down and see my nails painted red. And it might be wearing, that dress that makes you feel really good about yourself, or I'm sure for guys there's stuff you can do for yourselves too, or, it's just little things. Even allowing myself, I joke about this and it sounds silly, but I remember going, it was the first or second night without him in the house. And, he was very specific about what I cooked for dinner. There were rules about that too. And I didn't want to cook dinner. Honestly, I felt like something sweet. So you know what? I had a pint of ice cream. I ate the whole darn pint myself, but I loved it. And I sat down on the couch. I felt like the queen of the house. I'm like, ooh, and I get to sit on the couch and watch what I want to watch, not what he wants to watch. These are silly things that people take for granted, but they don't realize that in an abusive situation, you're not allowed these little indulgences. So I say indulge your whims because in doing that, you're going to find those little bits of happiness that are like depositing, into your happy jar of your soul. And they're going to remind you who you are. And it's going to get a little easier every day. And then before you know it, you're going to be standing firmly on your own 2 feet, knowing exactly who you are, knowing what you want in the bigger scheme of life as far as careers and lifestyle and all these things. And that's just going to lead you in the right path because, like for me, once I saw what I wanted, I couldn't forget about that. I couldn't unsee it. So, you start taking these baby steps, but you have to start with you. And I think just even, rediscovering who you are and allowing yourself, giving yourself permission to, be who you are basically is going to put you in a better mind space to receive the healing that, you're going to try to get. Because whether you go to traditional talk therapy or I did some writing therapy, even if you don't have money for things like that and you're going on YouTube, there's a lot of people on YouTube that can offer some perspective or a podcast like this, you know, you're gonna receive whatever it is better when you're feeling better about yourself.